Hey everyone, Ken Carlson here with Country Guitar Chops. A lot of people ask me about my pedals. What do I use to get the different tones that I get? So I'm going to go over that with you. First thing I want to mention is that I do cover tunes. I play with a band. My main gig is doing cover tunes. So I try to set my pedal board up to cover as many sounds as I can. I run. Right now I'm running 4 different distortions. I'm not crazy about the distortion sounds I'm getting right now. I've had better tones in the past, but I'm always experimenting. So I'm going to show you what I've got and go from there. So yeah, rather than trying to emulate one person's tone, which if you don't know, I'm a huge Brent Mason fan. I try to get as many, whatever songs are popular. Well, Brad Paisley's another popular one. I've got a pedal that I bought specifically for Brad Paisley sounds. So let's get into that. First of all, of course, is my volume pedal. Very first thing in the chain is my volume pedal. Rather than, if you watch my guitar video on my guitars, the way I've got them set up here, I can't use my pinky to roll to get swells. So I have to use my volume pedal for that, which I like it that way anyway. I get a lot more control with a foot volume for doing swells than I do with my pinky anyway. The next pedal in line is my tuner. I just use a Boss tuner here. It's not in line with the rest of the pedals. My volume pedal has a separate out for the tuner, so it's just jumped over there and then it's a dead end. The next pedal in line is my modulation pedals. The first modulation pedal is my MXR Phase 90. Good little pedal. I love the sound of the MXR. I mean, the classic phase sound is phaser sound is the Phase 90. The problem that I have with this pedal is it's a tone sucker. It really sucks your tone when it's off. I can hear it. It's kind of like you can almost hear it in the background. It kind of muffles your tone a little bit. I'm trying to find a true bypass mod for it, and when I find some kind of a mod for it, I'll certainly do that. Other than that, it's a great sounding pedal. I replaced it and put a Boss pedal on there, which has got a lot more versatility, a lot more knobs on it and volume or controllability, but it just doesn't have that MXR sound. I couldn't dial that in. So I wound up putting this back on there, and I just put this on here about a week or 2 ago again, and yeah, I'm liking it. There again, I'll change back and forth depending on my mood. It's a little dark sounding. It'd be nice if I could change the tone on that a little dark sounding. But anyway, so that's my second pedal. My third pedal then would be, actually I take that back. My first pedal on the chain is my phase shift, or my wah-wah pedal. Wah-wah pedal is original Crybaby wah pedal, and I've got it modded. I modded it to true bypass and put an LED light in there. I like it now because it was a real tone sucker. It just sounded like it was on. So yeah, the true bypass, I got that off YouTube. Just looked up YouTube on it, and there was 2 mods on there. One how to do a true bypass, and the other one on how to put a LED light on there. So I did both of them. Real happy I did. Yeah, I like the wah. I originally bought the wah to get this Brad Paisley sound that I'm going to explain here in a little bit, but it didn't really work well for that. So now I use it for classic rock stuff. Sounds pretty cool. And then of course next is that phaser tone, which I didn't even show you how that works. You can hear that. Great for old wailing stuff. that also on stuff. Oh gosh, we do drop D. God, we do an old Marty Stewart song, which of course they didn't do this on the record, but I kick it off like this. No, that's not the intro. What is it? Touch Me, Turn Me On. Yeah, it is. That's how I do the intro anyway. So it's kind of cool in there. I kind of switch off between the verses doing that. Various stuff like that. I see we do a Gretchen Wilson song. Let's see here. So I would go like this. So I like the basic for stuff like that. Sounds pretty cool. It's not necessarily the tone that I would get on it. My pedals are set up for my twin, for my Fender twin cell, which every amp sounds different. And right now, like my delay is really strong. It's really loud. The slapback is really noticeable, which I have to have that set this way for my twin because it doesn't sound nearly this noticeable on my twin. I'm using my matchless right now, which I'll get to that in a minute here when I'm done with the pedals. Okay, so moving along, my next pedal is my wah pedal, dynamic wah, auto wah pedal, and I've got this set up as in a vocal humanizer mode, I think it's called. Yeah, humanizer. Looks like I've got it set on a shoot, I don't know. I've shown pictures of it here. You can see the picture on it where I got it set, and I use this for my Brad Paisley. Brad Paisley uses this kind of a tone in his rhythm on a few songs, and that's why I bought the wah pedal to begin with, but it just didn't work. So I found out he actually uses a Line 6 type pedal, the big, like my DL4 I got down here. It's I don't know what model it is, and I wasn't going to get it just for that sound, that the same pedal he's got, because it takes up too much real estate on my board. So I went with this one here, and it sounds close, close enough for doing the cover tunes. Let's see, how would I use that here? I'm pretty quiet. Let's try this. You can see I turned it off when I get to that part. Then I turn it back on. Every time you take a sip. It's just kind of a chorus. Well, it's not a chorus part, but it's the next part of the words. I would actually use my tremolo. So that's kind of how I use those. And of course I use that dynamic one on a few other songs too, but mainly it was for that Brad Paisley kind of rhythm stuff there, which I didn't play that rhythm there worth a darn, but you get the idea. Let's see what else. So next in line after that, those are my modulation pedals. I mentioned tremolo. Tremolo is modulation, but I don't have it there, and I'll explain why here in a little bit. My next pedal in line is my compressor. Always use a compressor. My compressor stays on all the time. Now that may not be the best way to do that. I leave it on all the time, and I just never really played with it other ways around. I try not to over compress. And right now I'm using a Keeley compressor, as you can see by the photo there. I've been using this about 6 months. Really, really nice compressor. Very, very transparent. I guess if I have an issue with it, it's almost too transparent. As you can see by the other picture I have here, my old Boss CS3 compressor. I used that for many, many years. contrary to popular belief here, I've seen where like Brad Paisley's pedal that he's always used as his Brian Wampler pedal, compression pedal. That's not true. Both Brent Mason, Brad Paisley, those two guys for sure, and I'm sure tons of other guys, their main compression pedal for many, many years was the Boss CS3 with the Keeley mod. Yeah, for years they used that. And then they switched over to the Keeley compressor pedal, and neither one of them are using that right now, to my knowledge. As far as I know, they're both using these Brian Wampler pedals. Whom Brian Wampler makes these boutique pedals, which I haven't tried them, so I'm sure they're awesome pedals. If those guys are using them, I'm sure they're awesome pedals. But they got away from the Keeley, and I wish I'd have thought of that before I bought this Keeley. It's, like I say, it's an awesome pedal, really, really awesome. But I just don't know if it's the greatest for chicken picking. It's doesn't quite give you that tone. I kind of miss the tone that CS3 gives you. I guess some people call it a rubbery kind of tone. But so that's my compression pedal now. I threw that CS3 up there to show you what I used for many, many years, and it's a great pedal. I highly recommend it. Another thing too, I'm going to have links on my site to like Guitar Center. I work at Guitar Center. I have since I moved here to Boise about a year ago. So I'm going to go ahead and put some links up there. If you'd like to help support the website here, I encourage you to, if you want to buy any of these pedals or anything else, please use the links that I'm setting up here. I get a little chunk of change every time somebody purchases something by linking through my site. So I would really appreciate it if you would use the links on the site. And I thank you for it.